begin to relax and make yourself comfortable wherever you are, you might notice how the air gently holds you, as if it's been waiting for this quiet moment, waiting just for you. And sometimes at the end of the day, or even at the beginning of one, you can feel a little like drifting in a vast, calm lake, the water unbroken, except for the gentle ripples spreading out from where you quietly rest. And as you let yourself be here, allowing your attention to softly settle, just for now, you can start to sense how easy it can be to just pause and wonder in your own way what it's like to rest within your own mind, supported by the world around you. And you can just take a deep, relaxing breath and simply notice how your body slips into relaxation. And as you continue to float on this lake within your mind, you may realize that water knows so much about supporting weight, how to yield, how to adapt, how to change shape without ever losing itself. And sometimes it seems that the very act of letting yourself drift deeper allows every ounce of tension to dissolve, like leaves touching the surface, sinking calmly. The light shifts as the clouds move across the sky, and perhaps you notice how memories, feelings, or thoughts are just like those clouds, moving above, reflected below, but never the whole of the lake. And with each gentle moment of noticing, you find yourself settling more into comfort, curious about the sensation of being held within and without, as the water adapts naturally to you and your needs. And a stone can rest on the shoreline for years, and then one day it slips into the deep. Perhaps it's resting on solid ground for years, marked by time, believing it was fixed and unchangeable. And yet, one gentle rain, one small nudge, and it learns it can let go, surrender to the deep, discovering an entirely new way of resting. And people too sometimes keep old rocks, memories, regrets, moments that seem too heavy to carry, but too hard to drop. And just as the rocks discovered, the act of forgiving isn't about forgetting or erasing its shape, but allowing it to find new rest, cherished and gentle, on a bed of understanding. And you may have wondered at times about how forgiveness happens, whether it's a sudden release or the slow erosion of old sharp edges. And some people even imagine that self-forgiveness means approving of everything that you've ever done. But the wise lake knows it's not about approval. It's about making space to be human. Recognizing that everyone has weather, storms, calm, and sometimes submerged stones. And what if that part of you that holds on so tightly was simply trying to protect you in the only way it knew how? Because sometimes pain is proof of caring, and resistance is proof of something important. And now as you begin to listen to all those currents churning within, you may notice that real change begins with small ripples. Curiosity instead of harshness. A gentle perhaps instead of must. And just imagine yourself gliding through the water of this lake, noticing that beneath the surface there are clear springs feeding something deeper. And if the mind brings up an old story or an old judgment, you can smile and just allow it to rest on the water, observed but not absorbed, learning that holding on is only one way and letting go another. And sometimes the first act of self-forgiveness is offering understanding, like dipping a hand in the lake and feeling how it welcomes everything, rejecting nothing. The patterns you learned, the choices you made are not failures, but footsteps on muddy shores, and now you choose to learn from them, not to repeat, but to integrate, so the whole story can move forwards, feeling lighter, feeling freer. And you might sense that it's okay now to accept a gentle kindness towards yourself, recognizing that even old stones can find gentle resting places. And as the water supports you, notice how every breath brings a wave of release, a subtle reminder that you're more than any single moment, any single memory, any single mistake. And in this moment, you find ways to be softer with yourself, allowing natural healing to occur, not because you force it, but because something deeper in you remembers how. The leg, after all, doesn't strive to be whole, it simply is. And perhaps you remember how to forgive yourself, now or soon, or whenever it's right, just for you. And now you can begin to notice the feelings of your body where it touches the surface beneath you. You can notice the sounds in the room, the way the air moves, knowing you can bring with you the calm and kindness you found here. Without any rush, let your awareness drift gently back, a ripple returning naturally to the shore. And every part of you can come back now, carrying new possibilities, a peaceful energy, perhaps even gratitude, as the edges of the world become familiar once again. And in the days ahead, you may notice yourself choosing compassion over criticism and finding it easier to let small moments of forgiveness settle naturally in your thoughts, in your actions, simply as part of who you are becoming. You've taken a gentle step towards something new today, and you're always welcome to return to this experience whenever you wish. And until next time, goodbye and good mental health.